to this week's Wednesday webinar, and we're going to spend some time talking about why you should use a CRM system. Just a brief look at what we're going to cover. We're going to talk just CRM in general, why if you're not using one, you should have one. And then we're going to talk more into why I think you should use Microsoft Dynamics 365. And we're going to look at the pricing structure for Microsoft's product. So when we're talking about a CRM system, a lot of times when I talk to a customer first, things might be kept track of via Excel spreadsheets, in email, paper trail. There can be a ton of different places that you have to go to get little bits and pieces of information, and then you have to put together this whole overall health of an organization, or where your sales are from, what your company is doing. And you have to talk to 6 different people that oversee different departments. So the number one reason you should use a CRM system is data organization. Having your data stored in one location, one source of truth is what I say a lot of times. You need to have your data consistently tracked. So what I mean by that is not only do you have your system of truth, people need to be using it. Your system is only as valuable as the people that are using it. So if you have people not entering new data, there's not going to be any value to your system. Having that data consistently tracked really gives you, again, that overall 10,000-foot view, the overview, a 360-degree view, however you word it in your organization. It gives you that overall view of your organization's performance. And talking about reducing the need to verbally communicate progress to managers, executives, I will bet most people watching this have at some point in time received an email from someone else saying, hey, where are we at with this? What's going on with that? And you have to go to 2 or 3 different people and then formulate your response and send it back to whichever manager, leader, executive wants to know. But if you have a system where all the data is in one location, 2 things can happen. Either that executive or manager can just see the data at any point in time if they log into the system, or some still will come to you for the questions. You can access that data very quickly. It can be at your fingertips just by logging into your CRM system. Even along with data organization, we can get into analytics. So CRM systems have the ability to have goals set and performance measured against those goals. So you can set a sales goal. We want to sell 10 million a year. We've sold 3 million. I can see that quickly and easily. We're well on the way to our goal, or we've got some work to do. You really can see that ongoing performance measured when you have data all in one system versus, this salesperson over here has 5,000 outstanding. This one over here has sold 10,000 but has 30,000 in the pipeline. When all those are bits and pieces, you can't measure it accurately at a moment's notice. With data analytics, you can identify trends. What are your top selling products? What are people coming to your business for? What are common problems that people are having with your services or your products? When you have this type of effective analytics, that can help drive business decisions that can help your business grow. It can help you avoid potential problems. If you start to see a particular area decreasing in productivity or sales going down, you can address it before it's a huge problem. So it can help to really drive effective business decisions that will improve your business. With marketing, I find 2 things that are super important with any marketing team. One, that you're getting your information in front of the right group of people. A super effective or awesome marketing campaign is not going to go anywhere if you're sending it to people that have no interest or no use for your products and services. So when you have all your data in a CRM system, you can find groups and pinpoint marketing campaigns to really get the data in front of the right eyes. You can also track your return on investment for marketing projects. And the second most important thing with a good marketing strategy is to transfer over those leads to the sales team. So now marketing has this awesome campaign. They've got it in front of the right eyes. You've got people interested. Now you need to pass that off to your sales team without letting those people interested drop. So a CRM system can also help you keep that data seamlessly transferred over to the sales team, and they can pick it up from there so you're not losing that interest that's been sparked. Moving into sales, we talk about a well-defined sales pipeline. So when you're using a CRM system, you can prioritize leads so that you're most likely to buy, or your quickest ones can just be checked off the list right away, or the ones that might need a little bit more nurturing. Maybe you have a particular salesperson that nurtures long leads or that handles this type of leads. You can really prioritize and bucket all your leads to ensure that your sales team is spending their time in the area that will get you the most return on your investment. You can track activities, again, keeping those opportunities from being neglected. The whole idea behind a CRM system is really to carry your customers through the whole process, not just initial prospects and leads to sales, but then even more going forward, as we'll talk about in a little bit, through the customer service process as well. So it really is about keeping your customers from being neglected. Well-defined processes can keep those opportunities flowing. So you want sales that you're closing today, things that, money that you're getting in today, but you also want to make sure that you have things down your pipeline so that next month you're closing sales as well. And the next month, you can't just be like, okay, who am I going to sell to today and kind of, in a frenzy looking for it. A well-defined sales pipeline will just keep that data, those opportunities flowing, and then it'll allow you to forecast easier as you get that historical data. So I touched on this just a minute ago, talking about better customer service. So now we've gone through the sales pipeline, we've carried the customer through, they bought something from us. But an organization pretty much lives and dies on customer service. You can sell to someone once, but if you have good customer service, they will become a repeat customer. And I think the most recent statistic I had seen, about 80%, for a majority of organizations, about 80% of sales come from repeat customers. I know there are some types of businesses that may not be the case, just if you have a special type of retail sales, but generally repeat customers are going to be a bulk of your sales income. And where you can achieve higher customer retention really is in a good customer service process. So when you have all your data in a CRM system, you can see a complete customer history. You can see back to how did they come to us? What type of lead were they? How many opportunities have they had? How much have they purchased from us? How much have they gotten a quote for and not purchased from us? What types of things are the needs for their business? You really can have this whole picture to help you provide solutions that will meet your customers' needs. How awesome is it for a customer to be able to call in and be like, I'm having a problem with this product, and your customer service representative can see they have 3 other of your products. This one, maybe it's not even the best fit for them. They can say, with the other 3 products you have, what if we tried to do this and swapped out this product for this one? It would serve your needs better. That customer is really going to think that you guys are listening to them. You're understanding their overall needs as a person or a business. So customer service is a huge benefit when you use a CRM system. Talking about streamlined processes, You can move issues through the system. Similar to how we could prioritize leads, you can prioritize customer service issues. You can have special teams that, depending on the type of issue it can go to, you really can streamline those processes. Because a huge thing in this day and age with so much technology at people's fingertips, how quickly you respond is going to become a trigger point for customer satisfaction. That is something that a CRM system is really going to help with benefiting your business and allowing you to become more proactive than reactive. If you can look in your CRM system and say, hey, we had 5 calls today about this particular product failing, maybe you need to look at that product before another 30 calls come in so you can be proactive and address the situation. Employee efficiency. So we've looked at this really from the prospect of how your customers are going to see you. But I don't want to minimize the benefit of a CRM system from the point of an employee. When you have your single source of truth, your system that contains all of your data, it really is going to help with the amount of time your employees have to spend looking for data or finding out information about a customer. They don't have to go to multiple locations for sales material. You can set up automation to reduce manual work. So if you have, I need to email this person and then they have to get this back to me and then I can go to the customer, you can set up automation so those things are sent over and things can go through the process quickly and effectively. When you have a CRM system, new employees can get up to speed quicker. I see this to be something super beneficial with sales teams. So you have a salesperson, they've worked for you for years and they've made all these customer relationships and they know everything there is to know about these customers. And then they leave and you get a new salesperson. How much time does that new salesperson have to spend creating those relationships with the customers again and understanding their needs and how their business works or their personal needs? If you have a CRM system, all that data is in there. So when one salesperson leaves, yes, you still have to garner a little trust and you are going to have to spend some time building up a customer relationship. But if you have that history, those new employees can really get up to speed so much quicker on what has happened in the past before they came onto the scene and what these customers will need. Okay. So now that we've talked about, I've sold you all on, you definitely need a CRM system if you haven't used one. We're going to talk about why Microsoft Dynamics 365 is my favorite. So when we talk about Dynamics, I know I've mentioned a lot about sales, and people are always going to think of a CRM as a sales software. But it's more than just sales. With Microsoft Dynamics 365, there are multiple apps available. There's sales, customer service, field service, and marketing. Along with that, you have the ability to create custom entities, and that is without the needs of a developer. It is, they call them citizen developers, where you don't have to use code to create custom entities. So the sky really is the limit. If you need it and it's not already in the system, it can be created. A lot of times people refer to, and I've even seen this on the homepage for Dynamics 365, it's not just CRM anymore. It's not just customer relationship management. It is XRM, meaning that it can help you with anything. You can track vendors. You can track employee time off requests. You can track internal situations. There's just no limit to the things you can track within CRM. Cloud-based. So a lot of times when you have a system, if you're hosting it on premise, which Microsoft CRM initially started on-premise, you have to have the hardware, you have to have the IT resources, you have to do all the updates, everything like that. Microsoft Dynamics 365, and they call it customer engagement now is the official name of it. It's cloud-based. So with that, it's going to require less IT resources on your end because they handle all the updates. They have enough servers to handle the storage. There's nothing that you need to really maintain as far as hardware. It's very flexible and scalable. To get more, it's really just online click of a button. You can update your licenses, things like that. It's very easy. And they do maintain all the security, the uptime. They're very reliable. It's just really great and requires less input from you to maintain. Easy to implement. So when we talk about Dynamics 365, the out-of-the-box option is fairly robust. There's accounts and there's contacts and opportunities, leads, cases for customer service. There's a ton of entities with fields already established in forms. You can use the CRM system straight out of the box. I usually do recommend a little bit of customization just to change your organization's verbiage. And I have yet to find a customer that doesn't have something extra they want to track or some other field they may want to add to capture data for different entities. But out of the box is definitely robust enough that if you are not using anything already, you could start here, start working with the system and see what you need to add. Data can easily be imported with Excel templates. It's also made that you can do bulk editing using Excel templates as well. And I talked about customizations, again, without the need for a developer. There is so much that you can create without the need for writing code. And that is a huge benefit to using Dynamics 365. So talking a little more about configurable and customizable. When we talked about custom entities earlier, I said the sky's the limit, and it pretty much is. You can update field names to reflect your organization's verbiage. You can create new fields. You can design your forms for everything you want to be included and what you want to be required so that you make sure all the data points that are necessary are being gathered. You can you want to make it easy for your end users, but also make sure that you're gathering everything. So those form designs, you can also create custom views, charts, dashboards to help you visualize the data. So pretty much every aspect of your experience, you can customize or configure to be applicable to your business. Integration capabilities. So of course it's built on the Microsoft platform and they are always adding new things all the time. Some of the other Microsoft 365 apps that you can integrate with the CRM, SharePoint, you can do document storage and that will go into your SharePoint site from CRM. We've talked about importing and uploading data through Excel. You also can have Excel templates within the CRM. So if you love pivot tables and pivot charts, you can create an Excel template to store within your CRM, and then you can download different views and show it on your pivot table or pivot chart, whatever you want to see. You can also create Word templates, so you can have dynamic fields. I see this a lot with creating quotes or customer mailers. You can have a Word template design, so it pulls out those dynamic fields, and then you have exactly what you need in your Word template. And you can integrate with Outlook. So you can manage your information in CRM from Outlook. So if you have customers that email you frequently, you could create a new account or a new case or do all of that directly within Outlook without having to also sign into the CRM system. That is a super popular integration that I see a lot of people using. And then something newer, the Power Platform. So this verbiage came around within the last couple years here. Lots of Power Platform. So Power BI is a reporting tool, an analytics tool from Microsoft. It connects not only to CRM, you can connect it to hundreds of sources, but CRM is definitely one of them. And then you can view Power BI visuals within CRM. So it will integrate with that. Power Apps allows you to create your own apps that can be used. So if you're going to go to a trade show or something like that, and you want to have an app that people can enter data for a giveaway, or you just want your salespeople to capture a few pieces of information about other people that are at the trade show, you could have an app where they just fill out a form and it can send it directly to the CRM. Power Automate, that is that automation workflows that we were talking about a little bit earlier. That really does help take those automated processes. So if a new case comes in, you want an email to go out, you can set that up in Power Automate. Power Virtual Agents, those are those virtual chat agents. When you need support, you can set up virtual agents for your customers to interact with. Streamlining business processes. So we talked before about how time is definitely very important when you talk about how long it takes for you to get something to a customer, whether it's a quote, a product, or resolution to one of their issues. So some of the things you can set up in Dynamics 365. Business rules, so that allows you to say, if this, here's another piece of information you need to capture, or if it's this type of problem, I want these three things on the record to come up or be hidden. So you can do business rules. Business process flows. That helps you create like a sales process or a checklist for your end users. So if a customer calls in, hey, I've got a problem with this, you can have a business process flow that, okay, send it to a customer service agent. Here's step one for the customer service agent, the three things they need to do. Step two, the two things they do there. And it can help walk your end users through all the steps they need to take to complete that record. Workflows, that's the automation side of things. You can create workflows to do quite a few things. And mobile availability. If you have salespeople out and about, you can use tablets, you can use phones. It is available on mobile devices. And they recently did just switch everyone over to what they call the unified interface. So how it appears on your computer now is how it appears across mobile devices. And the last thing I want to touch on with Dynamics 365 here is security. There's a few different ways that you can configure security. So at a field level security, you can control users and teams' access to specific fields on entities. So maybe you have a customer's credit card that you have on file. Well, you can make sure that only your accountant sees that credit card. No one else has to see that. So you can lock down a specific field. Role-based security controls users and teams' access to specific entities. So if you want to help, I do this to clean up an end user's experience so they don't have so many things to page through. If you have sales team members, they probably only need to see, accounts, leads, contacts, opportunities. They probably don't need to see all the cases. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. They don't need to see, field technician notes, or there may be things that you only want them to look at these 3 or 4 entities. So you can create security levels based on role. So when you assign someone, you're a sales member, well, here's the 5 entities you work with. You don't need to see other things. We don't want to clutter up what you have to navigate through. It can just help from that perspective, from an end user perspective, or if you don't want them to have access. So if you have invoices or financial records or anything like that, maybe not everyone needs to see those. You can definitely do that at a role level as well. Form-based security controls users and teams access to specific forms. So when I talk about a form, when you pull up an account, you are looking at an account form. You can have multiple forms per entity. I don't recommend it, but you can have multiple forms. But maybe what your salesperson needs to see on the account level is something different than your customer service agent needs to see. You know, maybe the customer service agent wants, you know, these three things at the top, and a sales agent isn't interested in those three things. You can create a customer service-based form and a sales form, and then you can give security access depending on that person or that team, so they are seeing the form that applies to their position. Object-based security, that is controlling users and teams' access to specific records of entities. So if you want to block off a specific set of records for the entities. I don't use that one as much. Role-based, form-based, and field-based have pretty much achieved everything we need to achieve from a security level. Then I just want to take a moment here to talk about pricing for Dynamics 365, and you can always go to, you can come to us too for quotes on licensing. Otherwise, Microsoft does publish this on their website as well. How it works is you buy licenses per user, per month, per app. So when we talk about the sales professional and sales enterprise, and there's a few different features going up to the enterprise level, for your first app, you have a price, and then subsequent apps, there's usually a discounted price. So if you wanted sales and customer service, you'd pay $65 per user per month for the sales, and then $20 for the customer service. So something of note there is that you do save money over the whole price when you purchase multiple apps. A couple of things that they have, we see under virtual agent, under customer service, and then when we're talking about the marketing pieces, you see per tenant per month. So per tenant, that is your Microsoft tenant. So a lot of people have only one tenant. You have one company that's in there. You know, for example, we have one that's just implementation specialist. If you have multiple divisions where you've got them separated into multiple companies, you may have multiple tenants, but just something to note is that per tenant, that is going to be overall for that company level, not per user. With that, are there any questions currently on what we've talked about today?
You can type your questions into the little question box or raise your hand and we can unmute you as well.
And I'm not seeing any come in, but I'll give you guys a couple moments here in case you need to. If you do think of any questions or anything afterwards, feel free to reach out to me. I love answering questions about the CRM or customer engagement. My contact information is here on the screen. And then here's some information to connect with us. We love hearing from you, whether you're currently a customer or not. We definitely love hearing from people that have questions or excited about CRM or any of our other products. Please spend some time, check out our website. You can also email our support box if you have more general questions for other things besides CRM that we can assist you with. Check us out on social media and definitely take a look through other webinars that we offer and our blog posts. Well, thank you so much for spending some time with me today, and I would love for the rest of you to have just a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerica. Great job. Thank you.